FM, the station where we give you a voice all over the world. My name is Chioma Innocent, and I'll be holding it down right here on Voice of People 90.3 FM from now up until 3 p.m. You know that matters is that show where we talk about issues as it affects you and I as a people, as Nigerians, and indeed as humans. I'm not alone in the studio today. I do have my analyst sitting right across from me, and I will be introducing him shortly, just after introduce some of the few topics which we'll be talking about today. We'll start with the issue of the controversial tax reform bills, which has generated so much controversy and has the whole nation, practically the whole nation, talking about it at this moment. Well, Bishop Kuka has come out to say that the tax reform bills will end the financial recklessness of Nigeria's elites. Now, he said this as a guest on a television program this morning. He has advised the federal government to ensure that the ongoing reforms lead to the country's development. Now, while still on this, Northern youths have staged a solidarity rally for thousands for Barao in the National Assembly. Now, thousands of youth from across the 19 northern states of the country staged a solidarity rally at the entrance of the National Assembly today. Now, they were supporting Deputy President of the Senate, so that's Senator Barao Jibrin, describing him as the Sadawuna of our era. Now, according to them, the peaceful rally was organized to warn those attacking the Deputy President of the Senate over last Wednesday's resolution of the Senate to allow the tax reform expert access to the chambers of the Senate to make presentations during the plenary session on the tax reform bills. And that is why they gathered to say we support Senator Barao. They were carrying banners with various inscriptions, including Senator Barao, Sadauna of our era. Senator Barao is the new leader of the North. Stop attacking Senator Barao. Leave Senator Barao alone. He's the pro-masses lawmaker. Now, they said he remains the best senator in the North, and given his sponsorship of the Northwest Development Commission bill. All right then. So that is it on the tax reforms, but we'll really be looking at that today. For many Nigerians who do not understand why this needs to be a topic of conversation for so many days now, I would ask Mr. Dele Fanimo to break it down for you and help you understand how this tax reform bills affects you as a Nigerian, the pros and cons for you as a Nigerian, and of course, if you're a Nigerian business owner, there is something for you there as well. Then I want to talk about human rights activists and, of course, political critic Dele Farutimi claiming that his life is under threat. He has raised an alarm saying that some powerful Nigerians and legal experts are colluding with security agencies in the country to get him abducted. In fact, he said he got information that on November 11, an invitation letter was sent from the Zone 2 Police Command to his office. He honored the invitation, but yet even after honoring that invitation, he's been getting different threats to his life. And I want to look at the crackdown on dissenting voices. Why that? Is it that no one can speak, can be critical of the government policies without fearing for their safety? Have we come to that point where one cannot actually express that freedom of speech as entrenched in the Nigerian constitution? Just last week, we got news that a Take It Back coordinator in Kano State, with just the name of Zubair, as we were told, was abducted, or rather was arrested by the DSS. And of course, you recall that the army also arrested investigative journalist Fisayo Shoyombo sometime during the week last week and released him after 3 days in detention, after 3 days of being with the army before he was released. We see a real-time crackdown of dissenting voices, a real-time crackdown of voices which are critical of government policies and of a political elite who they feel are not doing the things they're supposed to do or working in the way that they're supposed to work for the good of the people. If truly Mr. Dele Farutimi's life is under threat, does that not raise the questions about if prominent Nigerians, prominent popular Nigerians can be targeted? What about the ones who are not known? How many people have been arrested or abducted and disappeared without their family members and colleagues and every other one knowing what happened to them? Recently, many Nigerians have been asking why security agencies also move like the people that they are supposed to be protecting Nigerians from. When you pick up a person and then you don't even allow their family members or those close to them, their folks, know what is going on with them. So I want to talk about that. Mr. Dele Farutumi saying that his life is under threat by some powerful Nigerians and legal experts who are colluding with security agencies across the country in order to get him abducted. All right. From there, I want to talk about the issue of the EFCC and the 753 duplexes that were seized in Abuja. Sowore has come out to blast the EFCC, saying that the anti-graft agency is afraid of big thieves. And then we'll talk about President Tinubu to create 20 million jobs for Nigerian youths. Well, I'm now being joined by Mr. Dele Fanimo. He's a political, social, and national affairs analyst. Thank you so much for joining me this afternoon on Matters.
Good afternoon, and good afternoon to the listener at home. It's been my pleasure.
Thank you so much for joining me. I want to begin from the issue of the tax reform bills. It's been in the news for a while now and has been generating quite a bit of controversy. We've had northern youth from the 19 states besieging the National Assembly today to say that, we support Senator Barrow, while Bishop Kuka is saying that it will end the financial recklessness of the elites. To the Nigerian who does not understand, to the layman who does not understand why this needs to be a topic of conversation day in, day out, how does it benefit them? And to the northern lawmakers, senators and governors who are opposing this bill, how would it benefit their people, and why does it seem like they are standing in the way?
Thank you very much. You see, the new tax reform, I think there are 4 bills before the National Assembly. The one that we can bring down to the layman's doorstep is the one that speaks to taxation based on income tax, and the one that has to do with VAT. You see, let me start by saying that some of these National Assembly lawmakers didn't take their time to go through those bills before they castigated it. And that speaks to the kind of division that had bedeviled Nigeria over the years. Anything an Hausa man does, he's done it because of his people. It's not going to benefit the Yoruba man. It's not going to benefit the Igbo man. And anything an Igbo man does, it must be located within the prism of Igbo, as well as Yoruba. Now, I'm sure if it was Buhari that came up with these bills, Northerners wouldn't have said a word.
You are sure?
Yes.
You think because that they are opposing this because the president is from
I will tell you
Southwest?
why I said. You see, one man said, if you want to hide anything from Africans, put it inside a book because they will never read. You see, as part of the functions of the National Assembly, each lawmaker, and when I said each lawmaker, is entitled to about 12 aides. Amongst these aides are researchers, advisors, and implementers of whatever they want to do. So they pay the salaries of these aides along with their emolument every month. But what do they do with this money? They would rather use that money to buy Okada and distribute to their thugs, or buy guns to distribute to their thugs. And so each time they come to the National Assembly, they come, most of them, except for a few, they come empty-headed to the National Assembly.
You're saying they don't even have good reasons for opposing this bill?
They don't have any good reason for opposing the bill. Why would you need somebody to come and explain a bill that was not written in French or Dutch to National Assembly members? Why do you know that? All you needed to do was a copy of this bill is passed to your aides that have knowledge about this. They will interpret it and break it down to you, so that when you are coming from the point of informed knowledge to debate. Have you ever seen anything they debate in the National Assembly? Somebody will just bring something, they say nay, say hi. Some people, they spend 4 years in the National Assembly, they never even bring one bill for consideration. And yes, these are people that they will even return them unopposed because they are contractors more than legislators. They bring rice, they bring generator, grinding machine, Okada, cars for now, the traditional rulers, on quarterly basis, on monthly basis, and all that. Is that what they are told to do in the National Assembly? They are supposed to make laws. And if you are not brilliant, you can't make laws. Because you have to debate it. You have to show me why this law is good for me. You know? So what happened was, on the issue of VAT, government says they are reducing what comes to the federal government in the share allocation by 5%. It used to be 15%. They're saying, let it come to 10%. And then they are increasing the state and local governments. Today, states get, I think, 55 or so, and local government gets 35. So 55, 35, that's 90, plus federal government 10. And then, out of this lump proceed, the states where they consume more benefits more. If a state like Ebonyi is paying tax, whatever accrue from Ebonyi or Cross River, 60% of it remains
in that state.
So, where is that going to benefit a state like Ekiti compared to a state like Kaduna or Kano? How is it going to benefit Ebonyi State better than Sokoto?
Because Governor Zulum is saying it to benefit Lagos and River State, especially another southern state, more than the north. But I want to
now,
look at
the question you ask yourself is, in the north, they don't want to have anything to do with alcohol. And Buri is declaring over 100 billion naira profit. And they have to pay out of this 100 billion naira. And you want a state that does not allow beverages, alcoholic beverages, to share a lion's share of such? Would that not be an injustice to a state like Lagos, to a state like Anambra, where they drink beer, where they drink spirit, where they drink alcoholic wine? Would that not be a disturbance? Whereas you take any alcohol drink you find in those states, in the north, they confiscate it and destroy.
That seems to be the argument for most political analysts who do not agree with the opposition of the northern senators, lawmakers, and governors to this bill. But any other, you said that what the state gets, its IGR, will accrue mostly to it in form of 60% before it remits anything to the federal government. On the other hand, as well, we know that the state also receive federal allocation. If they can use their own resources to grow their own economy, why can't they be happy about that?
You see, the point is, what that bill tends to achieve is, if you know that there is a consumption pattern in Enugu State, for instance, and you know that you can open up your state to accommodate those consumptions. If you want more VAT, open your state to beer drinking, open your state to whiskey and brandy, open your space for night clubbing, because most of the time that's where you drink. Open your space to drinking joints. Open your state for cigarette smoking. Most of these things are what brings VAT. So why would you now punish me? Okay, for instance, if you want to go by what they are saying, that did not benefit them, who benefits more from oil that is taken away from the south? Is it not the northerners? How many oil wells do we have owned by southerners? And the oil wells are located within the south. Are they not supposed to argue that?
You're saying if the North wants to argue this, then the South also has a reason to argue. But I want to look at another angle. You already have youths from...
Then let me also say, before you go into the second question,
Okay.
the second part of the bill seeks to say, if you are earning certain amount that is lower, maybe 1 million or lower. If I'm earning like 80,000 naira per month, I'm not supposed to pay payee anymore.
You're exempt from paying.
I'm exempted from payee, which is also
and
to empower.
And that also benefits this same northern citizens that we're talking about. All right.
Nobody is restricting it. And then they are saying that if your earning in a year exceeds 100 million naira, then you pay 25%. It is not a new thing. It is what happens abroad. Elsewhere, where tax is taken as a serious matter.
Is that the part that now affects the lawmakers?
Of course, the majority of them have their businesses and they don't pay tax.
They are more concerned about how it will affect them than how it will help
Yes.
All right.
When you see National Assembly, okay, let me ask you a question. When they want to pass bill of $2.2 billion loan, do they debate it on the floor? Say hi, say nay. Immediately they pass it. Within 24 hours, the bill has gone through first reading and second reading. And then they pass it to the presidency for the presidential accent to the bill. But when you know how many years it took for us to pass PIB, that later became PIA, industry bill, that now later became PIA, just because it does not favor them. So you can now see how divided we are when it comes to natural resources. So less than the whole National Assembly is less than 500, 360 in the House of Reps and 109 in the Senate. That gives you 469 members trying to hold the whole nation to ransom just because something they are bringing, which should be for the generality of Nigerians, because it doesn't favor them as individuals or collectively, and that people who suffer for the payment of VAT should also enjoy more than those who don't even pay. What is the fraction of VAT generated in the North compared to the South?
Mr. Fanimo, I want to look at, I already told you that so many youths besieged the National Assembly this morning to show support for the Deputy President of the Senate due to a slight, would we call it a minor ruckus or a minor altercation that occurred when the chairman of the presidential committee on this fiscal tax policy and of course the FIRS chairman wanted to go into the chambers. Now, you already have these people gathering to show solidarity. Oh, we stand with our person, we stand with our people. If they see that a section or most of their lawmakers and governors and senators are not assenting to this bill or are not happy about it, we know how things can happen in the North and how it's we can almost see those situations where people just hit the streets, maybe in protests that could turn violent because of this. Do you think they'll be able to rein in their people so that that does not happen with the way they have been vehemently opposing this bill?
You see, there is no opposition that you see on television in the North.
It will favor Lagos and Rivers State. That is already creating a bias in the mind of someone who feels that,
and because Rivers and Lagos,
sideline me.
The point is, show me. When you say it favors, let's look at the indices. How much VAT is generated in Lagos?
I'm talking about the people right now who
No,
look
I'm
up to their
asking
senators
you.
and their lawmakers, right? And would actually follow what they say. If they say we're not going to support this bill, and people who many of them may not even be
Is it the bill that has
literate, who
passed
don't
to
understand
the
how
first and
it would
second
help- How
reading?
it would help them, right? So that they are not led into committing violent acts because they see that the people who are representing them don't want
all
it.
they need to do, all the federal government needs to do, and that's the job of National Orientation Agency, is to sensitize the people. And once they are properly sensitized, why are they coming to protest? You need to be sensitized, because it's one thing to say, we no go agree, we no go agree. On what basis are you saying you no go agree? That's why sometimes when there's a protest, pick one or two people randomly and say, come, you are out on the street. I can see sticks and broken bottle in your hand. Please, why are you protesting? Over what? They will not be able to explain.
And that you have just buttressed my point.
That's what I'm saying. So they need to be sensitized.
By the same people who are in opposition?
No. Because somebody is mouthing something in the National Assembly does not mean he truly represents the whole of his constituency. You understand? So what we need to do is we need to really, really sensitize these people and see the lie in what they are dishing out to their people. That you say something is going to favor. Okay, Rivers State is going to get more VAT. What is Rivers State bringing into the national purse in form of VAT? And what is a state like Zamfara bringing into the national purse? Gold that is present in Zamfara, they are using bandits to cover themselves up, to illegally mine gold. Nothing has come to the national.
Using bandits to cover themselves up.
Yes.
Are you saying that they are allowing insecurity so that what they get from that mining does not accrue to the federal purse?
Yes. I'm saying this.
That is a grave allegation.
Yes, I'm saying it. My name is Dele Fanimo. I'm saying it.
So when you say they, who do you mean?
Of course, they know themselves, the legal stakeholders. Just like Navy at a point was also shielding illegal bunkers in the Niger Delta until this government came and said no. 300,000 barrels per day was stolen for about 6, 7, 8 months. Multiplied that by $75 per barrel. See how much we have lost to private individuals. That's why the likes of Emefiele will go and bring 753 houses in Abuja.
All right, Mr. Fanimo, that is where we are going next. Sowore has come out to blast that is presidential candidate of the African Action Congress in last year's general election, and also human rights activist and convener of Revolution now has come out to blast the EFCC, saying they are now afraid of big thieves because in their initial reports they just said, oh, we have made the single largest seizure in the history of the EFCC, but they did not name names at that point in the beginning of this report. It was later on that it came out that, oh, it's actually Emefiele, after Sowore said he heard from the grapevine that this property belongs to Emefiele. When did we lose that culture of naming and shaming? When the EFCC goes to schools, to universities, institutions, and arrests boys in the middle of the night, they parade them and show their names and even publish their names. They publish their names. When the police arrest people who are suspected criminals, they parade them, they show you their faces, and they show you their names on the news. This is now almost reminiscent of African China song. If you poor man we steal Maggie, they go show him for crime fighters. But rich man wait if money, you no go see him face for crime fighters. So why the shield?
Now let me tell you.
Why the shroud of secrecy?
Let me tell you. I would squarely rest the blame on my colleagues in the media. You don't need EFCC to know whoever stole that much to build that much, because it was already in the court, and anything that goes to court and attracts conviction or forfeiture is public document.
And that is as much as it is, as much as it's public record. They must have known that
they know.
There is no way that journalists will not uncover that it was Emefiele. So why not say it in the beginning rather than right now getting these allegations of, you are covering him up? I
said, I'm not going to blame EFCC. EFCC may decide to delay. But what is the job of the journalist? It's unfortunate that most journalists today, they rely on press releases. So if press releases didn't come from EFCC, you know why I would blame them squarely? The interim forfeiture came November 2nd or 3rd, last month. 1 whole month, no single newspaper reported this case in Nigeria. What does that tell you? Compromise. Now, 1 whole month after, EFCC went back to court that they want permanent forfeiture. And they got it. You still said a top... God. If when I was editor or MD of a newspaper, whoever is that judicial correspondent by now should be in his house. For my newspaper, I will sack that judicial correspondent immediately. Waiting for EFCC.
But when you speak to your EFCC sources and they refuse to name names, what can you do?
I said you don't need to go to EFCC. This thing is in court. That book where judges enter judgment, where they record proceeding, is not, the judge is not the owner. It is meant for the public. If you approach the registrar of that court, he is obliged to bring it out. Are you telling me that if you are in court for a big case like that, if you are in court, do you need any EFCC to mention you? Because they will call out the case and arraign the suspect, or the lawyer of that suspect or accused person would come up and say, I am Dele Fanimo, representing Emefiele. Is that not enough for you to get the name of the person as a journalist? And you know, you are waiting for the spokesperson of EFCC to tell you the name of somebody that they have forfeited his asset, totaling 753. 48 hours after the conviction, you are still looking for the name. You are waiting for EFCC to announce that. Where is the place of investigative journalism? This is not even investigative journalism.
You are not even faulting the EFCC at all for
no.
to stay secret.
No.
It's up to others
no.
to do the uncovering.
No,
all right,
no.
15 minutes past 2 p.m. right here on the number one station that gives you a voice. This is Voice After People 90.3 FM. The voice you've been hearing belongs to Mr. Dele Fanimo. He's handling the analysis right here on matters. My name is Chioma Innocent and I'm taking the seat of the moderator. We've been talking about quite a number of topics. We've just talked about the tax reforms and the oppositions to the tax reforms, and right now we're talking about the 753 duplexes in Abuja which were forfeited to the EFCC in its largest single asset seizure since its inception, or rather since EFCC came to being in 2023. So a human rights lawyer as an activist has come out to say that it would be better if the federal government could lease or rent out that seized property to civil servants and medical doctors working in the FCT. Is that a position that you would support?
Is another way of siphoning the proceed
by opening it up to civil servants in the federal capital territory who may be having accommodation issues.
There are layers to this. Number one, Emefiele should be taken to a psychiatric home.
Why so? He
to examine his head, for him to have that rapacious inclination for stealing. It should be, the people should begin to use him as case study in the psychology of stealing. People should write thesis over what he has done. What are you going to do with 753 duplexes? What are you going to do with them? Lokogoma is not a village in Abuja. It's an highbrow environment where you have to pay between 30 and 50 million naira to buy a plot of land. What that tells you is to erect a duplex in Abuja, you require between 60 and 80 million naira. So each of these houses will cost nothing less than 100 to 120 million naira from start to finish, and the land. And then somebody has built 700, I didn't say 7.5, 753 buildings. And this is somebody that he was MD of a big bank before he was named as EFCC.
As the CBN governor.
As the CBN governor. Then don't you think that person, his brain must be examined to know what came over him to steal so much, and they have even recovered some monies running into billions.
Well, he's been in court for a while, and his mental capacity has never been in doubt. So you advocate.
I'm not saying. Look, I'm a psychologist.
A psychiatrist.
I'm a psychologist, and I'll tell you why his brain has to be examined. It should be a course of study for psychology students. That what will make a man steal what he doesn't need? What will make a man steal for generations that you may not even know? Because if you steal that much, you can't enjoy the proceed. Let me ask you a question. If this man decides to sell each duplex every month, granted that he doesn't have money to feed himself, he doesn't have a car, 120 million naira every month, you think he would get to half of that plot? This man is just over 60 years old, if not close to 70. So let's assume that God preserves his life and is going to spend like 100 years. That means he has about 30 years or 35 years more. Let's take it as he's 65 now. It's 35 years divided by 12, multiplied by 12. It's not up to half of what he has stolen. So which means if he begins to sell each house every month, apart from what he has been made to forfeit in terms of cash, and you know, in Lagos here, he has forfeited about 17 houses. What does a man need in life? So that's why I said his brain must be subjected. Let me tell you, there's a thin line between neurosis and psychosis. I'm sorry, I'm taking you to the realm of psychology now.
Mr. Fanimo, at this point, I'm actually much more concerned with what happens to the forfeited house, right? What happens to the seized properties? How can it be channeled for the good into use for the good of Nigerians?
If you, the best bet is let them do open bidding.
It should be auctioned off.
Yes.
Rather than to be opened up.
Yes, and then let us know the proceeds.
Doctors.
Medical doctors can find their way. Let me tell you, this is
Medical
just one.
Doctors can find their way for accommodation in the FCT. You know how it
do you know that Federal Mortgage Bank can take over that house and let whoever wants to aspire to buy, let that person pay 10-15% upfront, and then arrange the mortgage for the next 20 years, and let them. Do you know that is just one out of many estates in Abuja, owned by directors, owned by permanent secretary in Abuja, that they are never inhabited. Some of them had run away from this country. I lived in Abuja and I know all these places. So when I'm talking from the position of knowledge.
All right, Mr. Fanimo, let's move on from that conversation. It's 21 minutes past 2 p.m. right here on your favorite dial. This is Voice of the People, 90.3 FM. My name is Chioma Innocent, and of course you've been listening to Mr. Peter and Mr. Dele Fanimo, rather. Pardon me. All right, my life is in danger. Dele Farutimi raises alarm. Critics of government policies. Have we gotten to that point where we can no longer have that freedom of speech or freedom after speech? In just 1 minute, so we can talk about the federal government creating jobs, and then we'll take calls.
Well, for me, I sympathize with Dele Farutimi because he has always been a forthright person who will stand government and speak truth to government. You know, it's not just about Tinubu, it's not just about Buhari. He's been an avid critic of wrongdoings in government. And now that it's in the public domain, whoever has that plan would have to sheath his sword to ensure that Dele Farutimi, my namesake, lives. And I want to say that it shouldn't be a thing of joy for us to hear that somebody with invaluable knowledge and somebody who is courageous should be threatened to the point that his life is at stake just for telling truth to power. It doesn't augur well for the well-being of Nigerians. It doesn't also augur well for government, because government should be protected for people like that. Because if you don't have second opinion, how would you assess your performance? If you are going to be surrounded by sycophants who will not see anything bad in what you are doing. Before you realize it, you would have gone to the depth of abyss in the course of running the government. So if you have somebody that is nudging you and saying, look, you can't go towards this direction, why don't you look at this direction? Why don't you do it this way? That person needs to be preserved for posterity and for offering hope to the voiceless. So nobody should attempt to do anything. Delay should not come in harm's way.
All right. Let's talk about the federal government wanting to create 20 million jobs for Nigerian youths. The federal government has launched a plan to generate 20 million jobs for young people over the next 24 months. That's about 2 years, through the newly introduced Nigerian Youth Economic Engagement and De-Radicalization Program. Now, this youth-focused, what they've called a socio-economic intervention, is spearheaded by the Federal Ministry of Youth Development and the Senate Committee on Sports Development. They want to revolutionize entrepreneurship across key sectors, including agriculture, technology, entertainment, food and beverage, renewable energy, and others. I was talking with Mr. Peter Anaske last week, and he said it is not in the government's place to create jobs for Nigerians. But the federal government has just said they want to create 20 million jobs for Nigerian youths through this newly introduced program.
This is not the first time. ND was created to do that during the military era, National Directorate of Employment, and we saw how it panned out. Now they are coming up with this again. My worry is, it is the business of government to provide an enabling environment for the private sector to boom and to create jobs, not the federal government creating jobs. Yes, you can be involved in vocational training and some other things, but then it is not the responsibility of government to create jobs. But as it is today, if that is what they want to do, let's see how it pans out. And I hope budgeted funds for this will not find its way into the hands of those who are habitually angling for these monies.
You're listening to the Voice of the People, 90.3 FM. And yes, you've been hearing Mr. Dele Fanimo's voice. We've discussed quite a number of topics. It's time for me to open the phone lines and hear from you. Call me up on 0700 903 903 903. 0700 903 903 903. That's the number to call to be a part of this conversation. If you'd rather send a message on WhatsApp, it is to 0817 175 6338. 0817 175 6338 on WhatsApp. We're streaming live on YouTube. All you need to do is head on over to the app and type into the search bar VOP 903 FM, and you can get to watch what is going on here live. You can also leave a comment on our YouTube platform, and we'll be taking it before the end of the program. Call me up 0700 903 903 903. The federal government is angling to create 20 million jobs in the next 2 years for Nigerians. How do you feel about that? Welcome to Matters and good afternoon. Hello, are you there? Welcome to Matters. Good afternoon. All right, then you might have to give me a call again. 0700 903 903 903. Welcome to Matters and good afternoon.
Oh, good afternoon.
Hi, what's your name and location? Please turn down the volume on your radio set.
My name is Pastor Biodun Tawedi from Lagos.
Pastor Biodun, please turn down the volume on your radio set, okay? Hello, are you there?
Yes, I've turned it down now.
All right, let me hear from you.
Thank you. Esther, I think...
this is Choma here.
Choma.
Yes.
We just need to give thanks to God Almighty for the discovery of this case of this immigration something. But there are still many in that place. So let the EFCC continue their search. Whatever anybody might say about them, let them continue their search and make sure that we recover all this property from these people. It is very, very bad. It is very sad. Look, when you are talking about the politicians, politicians are not as bad as people are thinking. The civil servants, the people who run the government, are the people. God bless you.
Thank you so much for your call. 0700 903 903 903 0700 903 903 903. I can see your messages on WhatsApp. Do keep them coming. Welcome to Matters and good afternoon. Hello, are you there? Welcome to Matters. Good afternoon. Hello, I've picked your call. All right, give me a call back. Definitely want to hear from you. Welcome to Matters. Good afternoon. Hello, are you there? Welcome to Matters. Good afternoon. Guess what? You can call me on WhatsApp, all right? 0817-175-6338. 0817-175-6338. You can call me up on WhatsApp in case the direct calls are not connecting. Welcome to Matters. Good afternoon.
Hello, good afternoon.
Hi, what's your name and location, please?
This is John calling from NACO.
Welcome, John.
Yeah. My contribution here is all about tax reform.
Okay.
Hello?
I can hear you. Please go ahead. I can hear you, John. Are you there? Hello, John. Are you there? Give me a call back. Definitely want to hear from you. Welcome to Matters. Good afternoon.
Yeah, thank you.
Please turn down the volume on your radio set.
I'm coming.
Hi, how you doing?
Thank God. This is Evangelist.
Welcome, Evangelist.
Yeah, actually, what you are saying, I don't know what is going on with our government. How can a one person own a property of almost 700 and something? Is it that he wants to keep it for his grandchildren? Or maybe he wants to sell it? Or I don't know. So if they want to give it now, you are suggesting that they should give it to the doctor and civil servant. What about the handicap? What about the person with disability? What about those people that cannot see, they cannot learn, like people like us who are blind? Why they can't give the opportunity to give people like us to even, maybe to see how they can give these people home, or maybe to build a school, or a school for people with disability, or to see how they can empower them in one, in this kind of. So I don't know what our government are doing. They think that with all this property they can easily to go to heaven, or but the money they have, like in Italy, all the money have been stolen from Nigeria. You think that when he die, he will need to pay transport to heaven. Maybe his pastor or maybe his minister in his church maybe have been telling him that is wrong, that is bad.
Thank you.
Stealing.
Thank you for
Stealing
your
is
call.
a crime.
Thank you so
So
much for
please,
your call.
they should stop it.
Thank you. Thank you so much. 0700 903 903 903. Remember that we also talked about the federal government angling to create 20 million jobs for Nigerian youths in 2 years. Welcome to Matters. Good afternoon. Give me a call back. Definitely want to hear from you. Welcome to Matters. Good afternoon. Hello there. Hello? All right, give me a call back. Definitely want to hear from you. Welcome to Matters. Good afternoon. Are you there? Welcome to Matters. Good afternoon. Hello? All right, give me a call back. Welcome to Matters. Good afternoon.
Yeah, well, good afternoon.
Please turn on the volume on your radio set.
Yeah, I'm doing that already.
What's your name and location,
So,
please?
I think the caller called and talked about the level of corruption and trying to side a bit with the politicians and talk about politicians being less corrupt than the civil servants. The politicians are the officials that the people have elected or voted for in one way or the other. So they are the voice of the people. Now, when you create a system or an environment where there is repercussions for action, I don't even think the civil servants too will want to steal, because anybody that is forced to go faces the music. So when you are talking about politicians not being as corrupt as the civil servants, the politicians are supposed to be the voice of the people. So when you are there for the people and you don't do what the people want you to, you are about yourself. You are an enabler. You enable the civil servants. If the politicians are not wanting to steal, the civil servants too are not going to steal. But the politicians are trying to are put in an enabling environment where if anybody that is being found corrupt is brought to book accordingly, then you wouldn't even find this thing happening. Look at China. They found a man, he was a bank director, like their CBN director, corrupt for even collecting bribes. The man was sentenced to death. I'm not saying this sentence anybody to death, but everybody knows the repercussions, the consequences of their actions. They wouldn't want to do it. So there should be proper, not consequences for future, go to prison for 2 years, blah, 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 this and that. It's not consequence. At the end of the day, if you find a way around all of these laws, and because we have a justice system, so that is conflict with all these things, and you'll just find them or give them 2 years, they are too bad. Maybe they forfeit about 40%, but everything they have stolen, I mean, it's taxpayers' money. People are suffering. People are hungry, and so people are lavishing and stealing so much.
Thank you so much for your
So we're
call.
talking about consequences of action. Even if you look at it, there are a lot of people that are worse than initially the process. But eventually, he's probably just suffering because he was against the current government, and he was eating all over that he is against the government, and they have to take off his case. There are a lot of people worse.
Thank you so much for your call. 0700-903-903-903. Welcome to Matters. Good afternoon.
Hello, good afternoon.
What's your name and location, please?
Yeah, my name is Stanley. I'm calling from Sowore.
Welcome, Stanley. Let's have you in 2 minutes,
for the good
please.
job.
Thank you.
Yes, I want to just comment on the EFCC work as well.
Okay.
I commend them on this one, yes, but please, I still want to urge them to, balance it. Even before this one now they discovered that owned by Emefiele, I think that's other one that's still hidden there, which they need to do more. Because I don't think Emefiele is the first person that, looks at Nigerian money. Other ones are still there. And please, I'm trying to let them, balance it. They should be neutral, not to be using tribalism on it. Because if they should do it the way they did it in Emefiele as well, they can be able to detect other ones that own their other tribes as well. Please, I commend them on the good job. Thanks.
Okay, thank you. You actually the one bringing tribalism into this. Emefiele is in court because of the case that the EFCC instituted against him and not because of where he comes from. Welcome to Matters. Good afternoon. Hello, are you there? Welcome to Matters. Good afternoon. All right, guess what? You can send me a message on WhatsApp 0817-175-6338. 0817-175-6338 on WhatsApp. Send me a message or call me via WhatsApp. Welcome to Matters. Good afternoon.
Yeah. Afternoon, Choma.
Hi, what's your name and location, please?
It's Nemeka from Ejibo.
Welcome, Nemeka. How are you doing today?
I'm great, too. Are you?
I'm great. Let's hear from you in 2 minutes, please.
Right then. My greeting to your guest, he spoke fine.
Yes, thank you. He can hear
you. First of all, Emefiele is 1 out of 1 million of them. So the 1 million of them, the remaining 1 million will have to chase them and know what they have, where they misplace our money. Chioma, where they misplace our money. So this Emefiele 7-something this is a small thing to compare what we are losing as a nation. Secondly, these activists they hold, is he in custody or?
No, he's not in custody. He's just saying that his life is being threatened.
Okay, they are threatening him. Well, let me tell anybody where they threaten him. Whatever you like, do. You can never stop the truth. The truth is like this afternoon we are looking at. Everywhere is clean and open. Unless you are an evil person, because you can stand against the truth. And when you stand against the truth, that means you are out of the society, you are out of humanity. Make that one there in their mind. More than try to be strong and powerful people, more they look useless. I'm sorry to use this word.
Thank you.
More they look useless before the eyes of the people. I'm telling you gospel truth. And the more they become powerless. I look at what happened at France the other day. People from outside country, from Ghana, Burkina Faso, calling me, sending me tests. What is happening?
Thank you so much for your call, Nemeka.
Listen, Listen, they asked me whether I wish to swearing another president as France. All our legislators are there with our president. It's a shameful thing, my dear sister. God bless you.
Thank you, Nemeka, for your call. 0700 903 903 903. Welcome to Matters. Good afternoon. Hello, are you there? All right, give me a call back. 0700 903 903 903. 0700 903 903 903. That's the number to call to be a part of this conversation. You can also join us on YouTube or streaming live right now. It's VOP 903 FM on YouTube. We have discussed quite a number of topics. I want you to remember that the federal government has said it will create 20 million jobs for Nigerian youths in 24 months. I want to know what you think about that. Welcome to Matters and good afternoon. Please turn down the volume on your radio set.
Okay.
What's your name and location, please? All right. Give me a call back. Please turn down the volume on your radio set before you call me. It makes for a seamless, smooth conversation. Welcome to Matters and good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Choma.
How are you doing? What's your name and location, please?
Fine. I'm greeting your guest in the
Yes,
studio.
Mr. Fanimore. He can hear you and he greets you too. What's your name and location, please?
My name is Denise, calling from.
Okay. Great to hear from you.
Okay. I want to talk about all these people stealing Nigeria's money. They should please, this EFCC should be Holy Ghost fire on them. All of them. Both the governor, anybody at all, from any tribe. They should vomit their money. That money they steal. They should vomit it by fire, by force. Nigerians are suffering. Nigerians are crying. Some people don't stood on top of huge amounts of money. Using it, I don't know whether they want to buy God or this for their transport to heaven. They don't have fear of God in their heart. EFCC should be Holy Ghost fire on them so that Nigeria can recover, the poor people can breathe. The government saying they want to provide jobs. Yes, it's fine. They should try. They should try. Our boys are girls. They are outside. It's too much.
Thank you so
Anyone
much.
the government want to do, anyone the government want to do, we should allow them to do it to help the masses, to help we mothers. And for Pharaoh Simi, nobody should touch that man. That man is saying the truth all the time. Nobody should threaten his life. Nobody should tamper with his life. As Nigeria is now, those people that are threatening his life, as Nigeria is now, are they okay with it? Look at abroad, like heaven on earth. Are there no human beings that build that country? We should all join together and make this country work. For us that are still alive and our born and our unborn children to enjoy the country. Thank you, Chairman. God will bless
Thank you so much for your call. I really do appreciate you. This is Voice of the People, 90.3 FM, and you're now tuned into Matters right here on the number one station that gives you a voice. Welcome to Matters. Good afternoon. What's your name and location, please? Can you hear me?
I hear you.
What's your name and location, please?
This is Trumpet.
Welcome, Trumpet.
Yes, calling you from the here.
Okay.
I proceed, Choma.
Please proceed.
See, in the case of a Metere, if you watch the case very deep, see, a Metere is not only one that commit all those crimes. But a Metere himself is saving himself and his family. If a Metere come out to open his mouth and tell the citizens in the world how that all these properties are acquired, you people will be shocked. A Metere is not the only one that acquire all this property we see. But if the man talk, his life is at stake. His family life is at stake. They just they shrink down only himself and keep quiet because of his life. Okay, ex-President Buhari, where is it? The money Buhari and the other made for the print, that new Nigerian Naira note, where the new Nigerian Naira note today? Trillions of money, where is it? Choma, where the money there? The enter bank, they tell you say there is no money. They print new money. And the ex-President Buhari, they pack us and go one side. That time, where the money there? So it's not only a military that I'm just a suffer like this. That man just keep quiet and suffer in vain. Because if you open mouth, Nigeria go think you, I tell you. See, Joma, in terms of threatening the life of truthful man that says truth on air every time, it's not a new thing to me. Because if you watch, during the time of ex-president Jonathan, they say a lot of things about that man. They do a lot of things about that man. Even they call that man a woman. I know the powerful politicians that come out to protest against the rule of Jonathan. And Jonathan did not arrest even one person a day. Nobody Jonathan arrest. But today, if you open mouth and proceed and say the truth in this regime, you will go in for it. Is it not a bad leader?
Thank you so much for your call. Thank you so much for your call. 0700 903 903 903 0700 903 903 903. That's the number to call to be a part of this conversation. You can also send a message on WhatsApp to 0817 175 6338 0817 175 6338. Guess what? You can also call me up on WhatsApp. I definitely want to hear from you. This is Voice of the People 90.3 FM. Welcome to Matters.
Hello, Choma.
Hi, what's your name and location?
Yeah, thank you for the solo. You are saying something, this evangelist, I call back, quick one.
Okay.
You are saying that the government wants to provide jobs.
The federal government, 20 million jobs for Nigerian youths in 24 months. That's 2 years.
Choma, I want to ask you, do you believe that it shall come back? Do you believe it?
Do I
this APC government that the tax, even they are taxing, even the poor people, even selling pure water, even the POS, they are taxing people. Me that is even blind that cannot even to even see food job, even if not God that is helping person. Do you know how I survive? Even government, if they see the opportunity to even tax me, I'm paying the part B. Even when government are not paying me, even they are not giving me mostly support or assistance. I'm doing other things, paying transport to go out for the work of God and other stuff. And you say government can provide jobs. It is a lie. It's lie. Please, people should.
You don't believe the federal government that they want to create 20 million jobs in the next 2 years?
Next year, I will call you to remind you if the government or 2 years coming out.
Thank you for your call, Evangelist. 0700 903 903 903. Welcome to Matters. Good afternoon. Turn off your radio set and give me a call back. I can see your comments on YouTube. Thank you so much. To keep them coming. I can also see your messages on WhatsApp. Do keep them coming as well. 0817 175 6338. That's the number to send a message to. And you can also call me via WhatsApp. Welcome
Hello,
to
good afternoon, Shoma.
How are you doing today?
I'm fine. My name is Obi, calling from Agor Palace.
Welcome, Obi.
2 million jobs.
20 million
federal
jobs.
Government, 20 million. Federal government, they play. APC, they play Nigeria.
In 2 years, though, are you saying they can achieve that in 2 years?
They are playing Nigeria. They just they play.
What makes you believe so?
Let me tell you, they are playing. If refinery from Port Harcourt, I'm a Port Harcourt guy, from my backyard, my back of my house, that refinery is. If they can lie to Nigeria that it's working, 200 million jobs, federal government they play.
20 million.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye.
Thank you for your call. 0700 903 903 903. Welcome to Matters and good afternoon.
Good afternoon, my radio girl.
Monday, how are you doing today? Good afternoon and welcome.
I'm fine. You see, concerning what all your callers are saying, is the truth. Now, concerning the pension, look at what the politician and what your guest say. Is the truth. The politicians are not ready to fix the country. They are not ready to fix the job. What they are ready to fix their own party and fix their picture at the end of 2027. That is what is going on. Because Nigeria has a lot of money to take care of the poor masses. And they are just talking about the creating of jobs. It's just to talk it and nothing will be left done. This 2024 is going forever. We are approaching 2025 and 2027 is at the door coming. But they don't talk about the plans or what we have in this country. Nigeria is so blessed and so rich. Many money is in the bank, but people cannot afford it. People cannot afford food. Now the pensioners and the people, the workers, when they get old, they will not see their pension money to collect. The government will not take care of the old people. Honestly, it's very painful. It's not like we are attacking the government every time. We are attacking the government. You as a journalist, so many people that is old, that is a good journalist, they attack them. They will not give them their salary. They seize their money. Some of them suffered and beg the government and make sure they have access to the government. See, they will not see their money.
Thank you,
They want their
Monday.
work for.
Thank you so much for your call. All right. 0700 903 903 903. Welcome to Matters. Good afternoon. Hello, are you there? All right, give me a call back. 0700 903 903 903. We'll take two more calls and then I'll take your messages on WhatsApp and then your comments on YouTube and we'll call it today. Welcome to Matters. Good afternoon.
Hello?
Hi, what's your name and location? Please turn down the volume on your radio set.
Yeah, I've done that already.
Thank you so much. What's your name and location, please?
My name is Tochuk. I'm calling from First Card.
Welcome, Tochko.
Yeah. These governments, they are just sitting us. Imagine if a minister can still touch to do Nigeria, transfer Nigerian money to this extent. How much more our past presidents, they are just playing us.
Hello, Tochko. Can you hear me? Give me a call back. I definitely want to hear from you. 0700 903 903 903. Welcome to Matters. Good afternoon.
Yeah, my name is Humphrey.
Welcome, Mr. Humphrey.
Yeah, okay. Chairman, if somebody told you that they will provide a 20 million job within 2 years, can you be able to answer to the how? How are they going to provide 20 million jobs for 2 years? Ask them how. Are you hearing me?
Yes, I can hear you.
How?
All you want to know is how.
Ask them how. How are they providing that 20 million jobs within 2 years? Ask them how. That's the only thing I want to ask.
Thank you for your call. 0700 903 903 903. Welcome to Matters. Good afternoon. Hi, how you doing?
I'm at the current information.
Welcome to the program.
Huh?
Welcome. Let's hear from you in 2 minutes, please.
Okay, thank you. You see, whatever we are saying in this country, the truth must surely come out. Because our leaders are deceiving us. Our leaders are misleading us. They are thinking that they follow us. The problem of Nigeria is not the follower. The problem of Nigeria is leadership. We don't have leadership. At first, I've been calling God now to deny us all the mineral resources so that we give us a good leader. Because I can see other European countries that have a good leader, but they don't have because they are making well. But we that have what it takes to move the country forward, we are not utilizing it. That is the bad leaders. They are not. You see, unless you misuse the word that you have, you will not know the one that is coming. Jonathan was there. I've had Jonathan when he was doing the media chat. That he knows that the Nigerians are insulting the way that Nigerians are insulting is higher than any other president in the world. But that is the man was saying it, and he has found known that yes, this is the only man that can handle this country with his mind. Other people are just pretending. They are not really know. They are telling us.
They are pretending. Okay.
Yeah.
I can hear you. Please go ahead. Just round up.
I heard. So we are deceiving ourselves. But meanwhile, where is he can be Libya?
Of course, he's on the morning show. You can listen to him between 7 and 9 a.m. All right. Thank you so much for your call, Mr. Fanimo. All right. We've got quite a number of calls. Let's just take some messages on WhatsApp, comment on YouTube, and then I'll take your concluding thoughts so that we can round off as our time is fast spent. On YouTube, Olugbenga Bamidele says, how long does it take to pass electoral law? 4 years? Little Mistake says, I will praise Emefiele for being a good man to collect from the country and still invest in the same country. Others that takes from the country and invest outside the country, how does that help the economy? Ola Adewale is saying, no wonder he wants to be president. And the guy they carry Bible to court to Abi. Little Mistake says, Emefiele created jobs for the builders, cement sellers, iron sellers, block sellers, etc. in Nigeria. While here saying something is wrong with his head, maybe he should have invested outside Nigeria. Abi. Ola Adewale says, Ms. Chioma, lots could have been uncovered if the anti-graft agencies are truthful. Olugbenga Bamidele on YouTube is saying 750 times 100M is good to buy tower in the Middle East. Ola Adewale says, lying to Nigerians is a crime, but who can question the Olorioko? Nobody. He's now Ajala travel looking for investors. Nobody should be that in an I don't understand this. Do we need to uncover more loot and steals, Ms. Chioma, for there are more to come? Ibekwe Victor says this government should be truthful. KC from Canaan Land, Ota. Izenwaka Maximus say, are you sure there will be up to 20 million people in Nigeria in a year's time? If hunger no kill you, insecurity go kill. If insecurity no kill, security go kill. Na jungle. Okay, going over to WhatsApp this moment. 753 duplexes recovered from Emefiele. Please, what is Henshaw from my 12? Federal government providing 20 million jobs in 2 years. Buhari promises 100 million jobs. Remember that it was until then that Nigeria without jobs became all-time high. APC came only to destroy. Good afternoon, Chioma and your guest. The federal government has finished all the lies they have. Now, you tell us that they will create 20 million jobs in 2 years. This is another election campaign. What do you mean? Emefiele remains. Good afternoon, Chioma. My name remains Mazi Okeke. It's very good to fight corruption, but must be done to all corrupt politicians all over. Let them remember the former EFCC boss by name Ibrahim Magu and Rashid Bawa, Hadi Sirika, former aviation minister, and Abubakar Malami. Please let them release Nnamdi Kanu because he has no case to answer again. Emefiele remains Buhari's messenger. Will let them call Buhari to explain so that more facts will come out. Good afternoon, Chioma Innocent. Many people were calling Emefiele, but EFCC had never mentioned the name of the owner of the properties. But if not for Sowore, who did this, who exposed the owner of the duplexes, why is the agency shielding the name of the corrupted fellow? After all, they have got judgment on the properties. Emefiele is ready to sell this country for free. But I believe some people must have aided him. Then, whoever wanted to assassinate Farutimi should also remember that he or she will also die one day. Death is inevitable to everyone. Mr. Ogumbiyi from Idimon. Okay. But as at okay, are there those relooting the loot and steals? Absolutely. How does one uncover them begs the question. Okay. Good afternoon, Chioma and the guests in the studio. If Emefiele could own such money and properties, I wonder how much our former president looted. There is Godo Chukuka from Egbeda. Tax reform bill, nice one. Let the government start with reducing the price of fuel. Every other thing will fall in place. Ikoro from Ajao Estate. Thank you so much for your messages. Good afternoon, VOP and your guests. Much as Emefiele is worthy of what he's facing in Lagos, here's someone, a leader today who's not less than 75, have done worse than what Emefiele did. Today he's on the saddle. Do we need to call for that fellow's mental health to be examined? Listen, a greedy man can never be satisfied. The reason we have one on the saddle today in Nigeria, Eugene Mary from Isheri. Mary from Okeafa says, let's be careful the way Emefiele wealth is being seized. First, you can consider the time he bought those land, and with the position he occupied for over 8 years, sometimes they dash them land or building. So when they say stealing, does it mean everything he worked for or being given as a present is recorded as stolen? Emefiele was working before he became CBN governor. How much was land at that time? Hello, Chioma. Greetings to you as well. May I buttress the point your guest is making on the new tax reform bills? It will wake states up to their potentials. It's referring to UAE then, when Abu Dhabi realized that what Dubai gets from tourism had to open and develop hers too. Well, we need food reforms for availability and affordability also from state government. Benga Ola from Fade. Good afternoon. If it is not true, President Tinubu should come up with a brand new constitution by convening a national conference as teaching time saves 9. Tochukwu Adele Thompson from Obanikuru. Thank you so much for your message. That is all we can take on the program today. Good afternoon, Chioma. God will help us in this country and Neke Chinon. So, Mr. Dele Fanimo, I'd like to get your concluding thoughts on everything we've discussed today as it's time for us to go. Nigerians do not believe that the federal government is capable or that the federal government is willing to create 20 million jobs in the next 2 years. Do they have every reason to disbelieve?
They need to come up with a comprehensive plan on how to create these jobs and who are the people that will be caught up in the net. Are they going to train and give them startup, get them equipment so that they can be on their own? And if you are getting them equipment, if they are going to use power, what effort are you making to up the ante in the power sector, having sunk several billions of dollars, and we are here today still complaining about power. South Africa with 68 million people has 90,000 megawatts. Nigeria with over 200, we are battling with between 4,000, 4,8 megabytes. I mean, megawatts.
Power, yeah.
Megawatts. So it's a shame. Fixed power. Government does not need anybody to employ. Fixed power, fixed infrastructure, road, rail, and then see how enterprising Nigerians are. There is nothing you bring into this country, there's nothing you manufacture in this country that you don't have the market. Other people are coming from other countries to tap into our market, and they're making it good. Nigerians are abroad doing exploits. Create the enabling environment, and let's see how Nigeria will transform. Start with power.
All right, then start with power and take it from there. That is what we enjoin the Nigerian government. Do the best that you can so that your people will know that whatever you're doing is for their own good. Thank you so much for joining me on Matters today. Thank you so much, Mr. Dele Fanimo.
It's always my pleasure
having you here. And of course, thank you so much for joining me. Thank you for calling. Thank you for sending a message. And thank you for tuning in via YouTube. Matters will make a return same time, same station tomorrow. Have an amazing day.